and we will soon turn on your camera. Wait. Oh, wait. Let me attach it first.
And everyone, please let us know if you experience any difficulty in seeing or hearing anyone. So, yeah, all right. So, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 1064th meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Just a few ground rules. First of all, we respect the speakers and we avoid talking while they're speaking. We can give them feedback if they ask for it, and we can give them, we can speak if they ask us to speak. Also, we refrain from discussing three topics: sex, religion, and politics. Of course, this has to be with an intent to create controversy or to marginalize a community or a person or criticize someone. We also profess that we do not discriminate and we do not encourage discrimination. So with that, it is my honor and privilege to hand over the charge to our president, distinguished Toastmaster DTM Sarfraz Nazeer. Over to you, sir. DTM Sarfraz, are you there? Toastmaster Hiba, can you confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible.
All right, all right. DTM Sarfraz, sir, are you there? All right. In the meantime, let me utilize this minute and book roles for the next meeting. So the theme for the next meeting has been suggested by Toastmaster Fiza, and to me it appealed quite a bit. The meeting is the theme is true love. So who would like to be the Toastmaster of the day?
I'm already doing it today.
Yeah, he's had like 4 or 5 true loves so far. So anyone online or in person? Toastmaster.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
All right, sir. Oh, all right. So, sir, I was waiting for you. So the charge is yours as president.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, and welcome fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. So do we have any guests that are non-Toastmasters?
I don't think so, sir. All are Toastmasters.
Yes. So I won't go into details of the history of Toastmasters. Yeah. The first club of Toastmasters was started on 22nd of October, 1924 at the YMCA in Santa Ana. And for over 90 years, the headquarters was in Rancho Santa Margarita, California. And in March 2018, the headquarters was moved to Inglewood, California. There are more than 280,000 members in 14,700 clubs in 144 countries. The mission of a Toastmasters club, like Karachi Toastmasters Club, is to provide a mutually supportive and positive and learning environment in which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. I also want to thank and congratulate our members who have paid the dues through March 31, 2024. And the group includes officers and members, including Club's VP of Education, Distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. Club's VP Membership, Distinguished Toastmaster Zishan Ahmed. Club's Treasurer, Toastmaster Wase Ahmed, DL3. And Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, DL5. Toastmaster Karim Maghani, EC4. And Toastmaster Velaram Megawar, PM2. At this time, I'm going to recognize Toastmaster Imran Rana for his remarks as Club Secretary.
That's okay. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, our last meeting, 1063, I would like to present a brief summary about the meeting. Last meeting was quite an amazing meeting with a theme of monsoon madness. There was a lot of madness in this meeting. And the best statement which I loved in that in that meeting was, I fall in love thrice, ended up in an arranged marriage. That was said by Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir Campwala, and he started once again his icebreaker journey. We had soon to be a distinguished Toastmaster, Toastmaster Rabia Zishan. She completed her HPL project, right? So the DTM project. So the winners of the last meeting were Critics' Choice Award. There were 3 places. First place goes to Toastmaster Rabia Zishan. Second place goes to Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir Campwala, and third place goes to Toastmaster Akbar Ramzan. The best speaker of the meeting was Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. Then best speech evaluator was Toastmaster Anand Qadri and Fahim Razak, and our guest who has become Toastmaster Faiz Siddiqui, were the best debatable speakers, and there was a tie between them, so the tiebreaker didn't break the tie. Best speaker goes to DTM Sarfaraz Nazir, and best meeting facilitator was distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, and he was playing the role of listener. So there was no such decision made regarding to the business. There was nothing reported. The only one thing that is the tall tale speech contest will be planned in next month, maybe the first week of August. So with this highlight, I would like to hand over charge back to the President, distinguished Toastmaster, Sarfaraz Nazir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. We have an online guest, I guess, a Toastmaster Hannah. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, good afternoon, Toastmaster Sarfaraz. I'm Hannah. I am from Namibia in Africa, and I have been at the Karachi Toastmasters quite some time ago. And I get reminders here on my laptop, Karachi Toastmasters. So I thought, all right, today I'll come and join you again because I've met Talha bin Hamid on Sunday at big event, Global Leadership Suite. And so I thought, all right, let's go and visit Karachi Toastmasters. And here I am. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And welcome to Karachi Toastmasters Club meeting. We have any guests at Beach Luxury?
No, sir. All are members.
Thank you. At this time, it is my honor to introduce to you the Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, well known as simply GQ. You have to be a very special person when your name is simply 2 letters.
Yeah.
Please help me welcome our Toastmaster for the meeting, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, aka GQ.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I have 3,000 connections on LinkedIn, 2,085 friends on Facebook. Now you all must be wondering, wow, this guy has so many friends. Let me tell you this. On this planet Earth, I only call 4 individuals in my life as friends. Rest are social circle, colleagues, acquaintances, and etc. etc. So today the theme is about childhood friendships. Who are these 4 individuals? These 4 individuals are the ones whom I know since more than 30 years. I have cherished every moment with them. We have laughed together. We have got punishment from the teachers together. We have got beaten by the teachers together. We have done so many mischiefs, and we have even cried together. So, wherever they live right now, in any corner of the world, we are still connected through social media and through the heart, of course. You cannot forget those memories. So, building on this theme, let me start this meeting and introduce the role holders for today. First, so let me just quickly go through the agenda and invite and introduce the role holders. So our word of the day, and as well as the grammarian of the day, will be DTN Talabin Hamid. Can you please introduce the role?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Word of the day is bittersweet, and bittersweet means bitter and sweet. It means something that is both painful and also joyous. So, for example, childhood memories can be bittersweet, nostalgia can be bittersweet, a victory can be bittersweet, where you win and your best friend loses. But if your best friend wins and you lose, it's only bitter. As for grammarian, of course, my role will be to fish out grammatical errors and suggest corrections. I'll also try to highlight good usage of the language. Over to you, Toastmaster.
So, DTM Talab, please, you have to come again, because I just forgot that we have got a third role as well in the agenda. That is the technical host.
No, I don't need to come for that.
You don't need to come for that? Okay, great. So next we have got our counter DTM Sarfraz Nazir. So can you introduce your role?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. As the R counter, my task is to keep track of all the filler words, ahs, ums, so, and, repeats, etc. And I will give a report towards the end of the meeting during the general evaluation section. And the purpose of having an R counter is to point out the filler words being used so that the speakers can avoid using them in their speeches. I think I'm also on the agenda as a speaker. So during my speech, I will pause every now and then to make a note whenever I use a filler word. No, just kidding. Back to you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Thank you, DTM Sarfraz. So our next role holder is the other listener. So listener role will be performed by Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan. Hiba Rais Khan, stage is yours.
Fellow Toastmasters, as the listener, I would be making note of all the interesting words and phrases spoken by the speaker during the prepared speeches and the table topic sessions. So everyone please be alert and stay alert. And at the end of the session, I would be highlighting who spoke what, and the audience will have to guess it. Over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hiba. Please don't go away because you have to make us laugh as well. For the joke master, Hiba's raised hand.
Fellow Toastmasters, why don't skeletons fight each other? Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Why don't skeletons fight each other? They have no beef with each other.
They don't have the guts. Okay. Why can't you trust a burrito? Why can't you trust a burrito? Burrito is something which you eat.
Uh,
Cause it will spill the beans.
oh,
Okay. Why do pancakes win baseball games every time? Why do pancakes win baseball games every time?
Uh,
The best batter is theirs. Okay. What do you call short people on a merry-go-round? What do you call short people on a merry-go-round? A midget spinner. What are a pair of monkeys called? What are a pair of monkeys called who share an Amazon account?
Primates.
Yes. What do women, oh, sorry, this is for all the husbands out there. Why do women live longer than men? Why do women live longer than men?
They don't have to listen to women.
No. Shopping never causes heart attack, but paying bills does. Okay. My wife accused me of being immature. My wife accused me of being immature. I told her to get out of my fort.
Get out of my.
Fort. F-O-R-T.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. The last one. Why was the librarian kicked off the plane? Why was the librarian kicked off the plane? Because it was overbooked. Over to the Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hiba. So for guests, let me just introduce how our Toastmaster meeting is structured before we go to the first section of the prepared speeches. So the Toastmaster meeting is divided into three parts. First part, we'll have prepared speeches. So all the Toastmasters who are paid members of the club will come on the stage and will give a prepared speech, which is from the curriculum of the Toastmasters from different pathways, that is different pathways. So they will be evaluated by another Toastmaster. And the second part will be table topics speeches. So in table topic speeches, impromptu speeches, one table topic master, that is the Toastmaster, will come and will give the different topics, and the Toastmaster or the guests have to come on the stage and they have to speak impromptu speeches. The third part will be the evaluations, which will be done by the Toastmasters who have evaluated the prepared speeches. So this is how the Toastmaster meeting is structured. So let me first invite the first speaker of the day. He is none other than DTM Sarfraz Nazir, and he will be. Should I introduce the project as well, or should I ask?
Yes, you can ask the evaluator.
We can ask the evaluator,
Yeah.
right? So let me invite the evaluator, Toastmaster Fahim Razak, who has just gone out of the room. So let me just invite the speaker directly and introduce the project. Toastmasters DTM Sarfraz will be giving a keynote.
While we're waiting on him, I can say a few words. I did not introduce, we also have a guest, Deanna McEnroy. She is actually an honorary member. She attends our meetings on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And a note for the Table Toastmaster, she would like to participate. So at some point, please post a question for her in the chat.
Sure.
Sure, noted. So DTM Sarfraz will be giving a keynote speech, and the title of the speech is Beyond Properties Ribbons. But shall we wait for the evaluator to come?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is the evaluator, by the way? Oh, he just sneaked out. Thought of evaluating DTM surprises can be quite scary.
You know, the, okay,
There he
Yeah,
is.
there it is, right. So
And,
let pick the evaluator, Toastmaster Fahim Razak. DTM Sarfraz.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Aren't we in for a treat? We normally look forward to DTM surprise speech, right? But today is extra special because we are getting 18 to 20 minutes of him.
What an inspiring speech. As Toastmaster Fahim Razak had mentioned, that this will be a treat for us. Indeed, it was a treat for us. So our next speaker of the day is the Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, and Wasi Ahmed will be evaluated by Toastmaster Imran Rana. Toastmaster Imran Rana, can you come on the stage and introduce the speaker and his project?
Remember the objective of this.
Manage change.
Managing.
Toastmaster Vase, can you share your evaluation sheet with Imran?
Yeah, sure.
Please, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, for the Toastmasters and guests. Today, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed was going to deliver his project from level 4. As we all know, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed is quite an inspiring and amazing speaker. He always inspired us with his amazing creativity in his speech. Today, I'm going to deliver a 5 to 7 minute speech. Speech title is, just a minute, The Change. Right?
No, the journey.
The journey. And the objective of the speech is to manage the change, right?
Yes, actually, it's about change management. It's about instituting a change and reporting about. So, Vase, have you passed on the evaluation sheet?
Yes, I'm just doing. Just
Oh, okay. Maybe I can bring it up.
You can send me.
Yeah.
So Vasi, this is only to worry
Vase,
about.
yeah.
So let's
Sorry.
welcome with a big round of applause Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, the change, the journey, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, the stage is all yours.
just give me 2 minutes. I'm sending you the.
Sorry, if I can just read out the objectives. Yeah. Okay. Manage change. The project focuses on how to plan for change, develop a communications plan, and identify obstacles to success. The purpose of this project is to practice developing a change management plan. Create a change management plan for a real or hypothetical situation. You may create a plan that is based on a past change or a future change that is happening in your personal, Toastmasters, or professional life. Share your plan with your club in a 5 to 7 minute speech. Your speech may be humorous or any style. It is not a report on what you learned from the project. So I hope that was helpful. And over to you, Toastmaster Vase.
Toastmaster Tala, I would need to share my screen too.
Yeah, just give me a second. Yes, now you can. And please make sure you can see my window for the timing.
Yeah.
I've raised my virtual hand. Okay. Now you can.
Yeah. Is my screen getting shared?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay. Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Right. Am I audible and visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, you are, Vase, but I think it would be a good idea if you could put on the presentation view. Do you want to do that?
View mode.
On the
Slideshow.
lower right, slideshow, or F5, yeah, you can press F5. Yes, I think now it's coming, yeah.
Right. I know. Timer. Is waiting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've raised my virtual hand. Can you see? It's a Karachi
Okay,
Toastmasters.
fine now.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
It was September 2018. I ascended the stage with a huge round of applause. And this was given to me. I became the president of St. Patrick's High School's Gambit Society, the Mind Sports Society. And as soon as I became the president, I had to answer a question. What is my goal? And my vision was clear. I wanted to make the best mind sports player of the city by providing my juniors the opportunities and the facilities which I never got. But in order to drive a strategy, I had to do a reality check. Where did we stand right now? Since the inception of Gambit Society in 2009, it reached its peak in 2014, where its flagship event, Mind Boggle, had over 100 chess and Scrabble players, which included international Scrabble players. And they did it with the collaboration of Pakistan Scrabble Association and Pakistan Chess Federation. But right now, this time, we were at our all-time low. Last edition of Mind Boggle had only 55 participants. Due to differences with Pakistan Chess Federation, we were blacklisted. The school no more funded us, and we had no presence in any external competition. Will I be able to succeed to get to my goal? How will I be able to make my journey? I divided my journey into 3 parts. First, I had operational side. On the operational side, I decided to have a training every week and to pursue management to hire as a chess coach. We were partly successful in this. Next, we had tactical goals. And in the tactical goals, we had to organize intra-school competitions. We had to participate in external competitions. We had to pursue Pakistan Chess Federation to collaborate with us and to introduce speed cubing. We successfully held 2 inter-school competitions, one for the seniors, one for the juniors. We won several external school competitions. We were able to introduce speed cubing, and it brought diversity to the society. And lastly, we were able to persuade Pakistan Chess Federation to collaborate with us at Mind Boggle. But what did these 4 tactical goals gives us? It gave us a momentum that would eventually climax at Mind Boggle. Mind Boggle saw an overwhelming response of 237 participants for Pakistan. For Scrabble, this was the auditorium that was used for Scrabble, and this was the auditorium that was used for chess. Pakistan Chess Federation and Pakistan Scrabble Association collaborated with us, and it was all thanks to my team. This was my core team, and there were many who aren't in this picture. but this was my core team. Mind boggle that year was the highest grossing event of St. Patrick's High School if we exclude a sponsorship. We didn't have a sponsorship, we used our own pockets. But I wasn't able to get to my last goal, my strategic goal, that was to create the best player of the city. We managed this journey in the mere span of just 7 months. And 7 months were not enough to make the best players. But we were happy what we achieved. Throughout this journey, we walked down at many stages. I would say at almost at every step, I bogged down, I stopped through this bittersweet journey. But I just remember one thing, what my father said to me. And that was that the grace that has brought you here will always make a way forward for you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, for a change, in order to manage a change, you need two things. First, a dream, and then the ability to adapt and to keep believing in it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Waqar Ahmed. So our third speaker of the day is Toastmaster Megwar Velaram, and he will be evaluated by DTM Sarfaraz Nazir. So over to you, DTM Sarfaraz Nazir, to please introduce Toastmaster Megwar Velaram's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. It is my honor to introduce to you the next speaker, Toastmaster Megwar Velaram. He is giving Presentation Mastery Level 3 elective speech using presentation software. And the purpose of this project is for Toastmaster Megwar to introduce or review basic presentation software strategies for creating and using slides to support or enhance the speech. The purpose of this speech that he's about to deliver is for him to demonstrate his understanding of how to use presentation software, including the creation of slides and incorporating the technology into a speech. The title of his speech is A Model Project on Education in Synth. A Model Project on Education in Synth.
Just a second, I'm looking for the settings. Does anyone have an idea where are the settings gone?
About
To change the background? Just,
videos में जाना, videos just to virtual background.
can you time?
Yes, I can do that.
Oh, you need to time just physically, right?
Yes.
All right. Let me share again, and then you can start.
Yes.
Yes, 8 to 10 minutes.
8 to 10 minutes. Okay.
I think I am not visible. You would not be because slide is being displayed. You change the view. You are visible here to Zoom participants.
Okay.
Change the view.
Yes.
View, gallery, side by side gallery. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Hello, Toastmaster and distinguished guests. Good evening. Today, I want to share a model project in education department, which is implemented by the education department, government of Sindh. So next. These are the content of my presentation about the project, the component, geographical coverage, program management and implementation unit mechanism, and silence which are the buildings. Yes. Sindh Basic Education Program is a US funded program. The grant for this project was given in 2010 due to the heavy rainfall occurred in the Sindh province, especially in the northern area, where the mostly schools were damaged. So for that, USAID grant 155 million project cost, in which 81 million used for the construction and 74 million for the soft components, plus government of Sindh share 10 million just for the operation cost. And the first time agreement was signed between G2G, means government of Pakistan and government of USA in 2012. So next. The goal of this project is just to increase and sustain the enrollment of the students in primary, middle, and secondary in the same coverage area, and by developing a school environment conducive to the learning and teaching. And second mandate is just to construct the state-of-the-art building in the Sindh province, especially in the northern area and Karachi. And after the completion of the school, to support the government of Sindh policy, reform policy to merge and consolidate the and upgrade the construction schools. So next. These are the components. One is the component, the hard component 106 is state of the art schools which are being constructed, and these are the non G2G projects, which is directly awarded by the USAID, in which 3 projects has been completed and just 1 architecture and engineering is ongoing. Architecture and engineering is directly hired by the USAID just to provide the technical assistance to the education department. Now, Helcro Pakistan is providing the technical assistance and overall implementing and considering these 106 schools. So next. This is the geographic area. You can see total the 10 areas, total the 10 districts, in which 7 are in the northern, Sindh, Khairpur, Larkana, Sakhar, Jacobabad, Peshawar, Kambar, Shehzadkot, and 3 are in Karachi, West, South, Malir, and total 106 schools are distributed in these districts, and 98 schools have been completed out of 106 schools. So next. To implement this project, the Sindh Basic Education Program unit, PMRU Project Management Implementation Unit, has been established by the government of Sindh and headed by the program director. And the second form, program steering committee, also constituted by the government of the Sindh, headed by the Secretary Education, and with member Planning Development Department, Finance, USAID, and the consultant. Program steering committee was responsible for achieving the overall the goals, coordination, guidelines, and even the major business decisions. Next. This is the state of the art school. I'm talking about this school. Really, I am feeling honored to be the part of this basic education and being an engineer. These buildings are being constructed under my supervision. Listen. No, sir. Wait. Yeah. I want to share the silence feature about this building. State of the art building means that the design of this building complies with American standards. American standard means they provide all the basic facilities in this school as per the American schools. So, and child friendly environment means this is totally child environment friendly. Cavity walls. There is a use the cavity wall to keep the room cool. Insulation tiles on the roof. We have provided the insulation tile to resist the high temperature. Quality controls, yeah. This is the quality. There was no compromise on the quality control. There is a consultant hired by the USAID, and we check every nut and bolt before the use. The next. In picture, this is the internal view of building. I just showing the two pictures. The white corridors, large height walls, the white classrooms, and separate toilets for the male and female. This building is the two-portion ground as well as the first portion. There is a separate toilet for the male and female, and a proper drainage system. There is a proper manual and the septic tank for proper disposal in order to keep the safe environment. So next. Yeah, this building is also being constructed in the Karachi. You see the disaster resilience here. This building is really disaster resilience. We have built in a high-rise platform. Long services life means the duration of this building is 100 years. Design life is about 100 years. And we have provided the rock foundation. You can see in the pictures very many windows, glass windows providing the ample natural lighting and the ventilations. And also we provide that disability access means that we have provided the facility for the handicapped students as well. We have provided the chairs and even the commode washrooms, properly railing for the handicapped students and Muslim showers. So this is the real estate of the art build. So next. Energy efficiency, you can see from the pictures which show the aesthetic view of the space for the solar energy provision. There is a provision of the solar as well in northern area where light is not available, so we can use the solar light facility as well. Seismic resilient. This is the unique we have implemented in this. The earth pole resistor and other wire are installed just in order to keep the safeguard from the spiraling. So next. This is the furniture. Really, the furniture is a very unique. You can see we have design as per the height of the students. This is the level 1. I think is the KG1 4th class. The furniture. The second. This is furniture for the level 2 from the 4th class to 7th class. Next. This is the furniture for the level 3 students. So next. We have also provided the library, science lab, computer lab as well. All are the well equipped. Next, sir. Next, sir. Yes. There is a health room. As a dedicated health room is provided for this student checkup. There is a professional MBBS doctor is there just for the checking of the students as well as teachers. Next, sir. Library. The school has also fully equipped library being provided. This is the just outcome of the. We have also after this after that I will present another presentation about the outcome of this project. Sir, just I request I have a video 2 to 3 minutes just to display to understand this school. Just
Go 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
it's not dated, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Megwar Vilaram. So our fourth speaker will be Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, and his evaluator is DTM Talabin Hamid. DTM Talabin Hamid, can you please come and explain his project?
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir will be delivering his icebreaker. Evaluation and feedback project 1. The objectives of this project are very simple. A speaker delivers a speech, which is expected to have the standard components for Toastmaster speech, opening, body, conclusion, and also transitions. And if you go by the evaluation form, each and everything that a person is supposed to have when they have qualified DTM, for example, opening writing, body language, eye contact, voice modulation. So yeah, everything is in the form. Even though it's the third project. So the feedback from this project, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir will be delivering a second project as part of this project. It can either be the same speech or a different speech, and he'll be incorporating the feedback from this speech into the next. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, Honeymoon version 2. Honeymoon version 2, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
10th anniversary is coming. What gift are you giving me? And it made me confused. And this was a life-threatening question. But my wife was kind enough to give me the suggestion as well. Okay, let's go on to an international trip. Where should we go? I think we should go to the same destination where we had gone to our honeymoon. Oh, Thailand. Oh, yes, let's go to Thailand. Fellow Toastmasters, whenever we talk about Thailand amongst our friends, they can only recall one word, that is boom boom. I have to censor because of the Toastmasters international policy. Those who don't know what boom boom is should go and watch Pogo. Right. But what happens over Thailand, it's absolutely different. What we perceive here in Pakistan. It's an amazing destination. It's a beautiful tourist resort and a place where the children can have all of a time. So we all three decided that we should go to Thailand. So what will be the itinerary? And how should I plan my leaves? So Eid al-Azha was coming right next to the corner. So we planned my leaves soon after the Eid al-Azha. That is, we will depart on the night of the Eid al-Azha, after completing all our Qurbani and rituals. So what was the next step? I opened my laptop and I started booking the flights, Thai Airways, the itinerary, 6 nights in Phuket and 5 nights in Bangkok. Flight from Karachi to Bangkok and then connecting flight from Bangkok to Phuket. We'll stay over there in 6 nights and then come back to Bangkok, stay for 5 nights and come back to Karachi. So the flights were booked. What is the next step? Yes, hotel booking. So there is an online tool that is Agoda. So I logged in Agoda. And how should I go and which hotel should I choose? So I remembered in Phuket there was a very happening place, a beach resort in Patong. So Patong is a very happening place in Phuket. So we booked a hotel, a 4-star hotel on the Patong, and then booked a 3-star hotel in Bangkok. Again, a good place, a good location. So this was a 4-star hotel in Phuket and 3-star hotel in Bangkok, but I had to pay a lot of money because of the location. These were expensive hotels just because of the location. All the hotels were perfectly fine. What next? The next step was to go and get the visa. So visa process was pretty easy with Thai consulate. So for the first visit, you have to go with your family. You have to give them the application with all the documentation. And after 4 days, you have to come back. You can go alone after 4 days and get the passports. For the first time, you have to go with all those travelers which are with you. And the second time, after 4 days, you have to go alone and get the passports. So everything was ready. We did our ritual on the first day of Eid al-Azha, and the flight time was 11:30 in the night. So off we went. I just booked a Kareem. At 8 p.m., we went towards the airport. So the flight was at 11:30 p.m. We reached the airport, we checked in, we did our immigration, and against my expectation, we were free in just 30 minutes. Everything went very smoothly. We sat in CIP lounge, had some snacks, and boarded the flight. As expected, we were greeted by the air hostess, and we were inside the Thai Airways. Amazing, amazing aircraft. Previously, when I went in those aircraft 10 years back, they were not that up to the mark. This time, Thai Airways had upgraded a lot. It was Boeing 777 with good in-flight entertainment, good food, very comfortable seats, and a very comfortable journey. But the Pakistanis, as soon as they boarded, they started drinking the important water. So one glass after the other, they started having that special water. And after an hour or so, I started hearing their screams. "Oi! Oh!" And they were totally high. So the flight landed at Swarnabhumi Airport at 6:20 a.m. according to the Bangkok time. And we had a connecting flight at 10:50. So we took a connecting flight, landed at Phuket, and off we went to the hotel. So this was the day one which we had started. Journey was smooth, everything was good. Now, what will happen next? How many of you seen Tom Cruise Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1? So this was the part 1 of my speech. And this will be to be continued in the next week. So what will happen in Thailand, I will cover in the next speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. All right. So our next speaker is the last speaker is DTM Talha bin Hamid. And we have made a slight change with the permission of DTM Talha bin Hamid, the PPE, that he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ali Hasnan, who has come to our meetings after a long, long time. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Ali Hasnan.
Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. Good to see you all after a long time. And although I was not really ready, but it was an offer that I could not really deny. I'm here to evaluate. I'll be evaluating DTM Talha bin Hamid, and he is doing level 1 of first pathway 1. He will be giving his icebreaker. Time duration is same 5 to 7. 4 to 6. And the pathway is presentation mastery. And the topic of the speech is now that I am not there. Now that I'm not there, over to DTM Talha.
What happened? Nothing. What happened? Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Evaluator. I still remember that day. All those years ago. June 28, 1978. He was in my arms, all dark and squiggly, kind of disgusting. Screaming his lungs off. Nobody really wanted to hold him. And yet, for me, it was love at first sight. Oh, I forgot to tell you who I am. My name is Dr. Muhammad Hamidul Qadir. I was born in 1941 to a loving and doting father. And I passed away on December 1, 2018, before a negligent son. He was the pride and joy of my life. I became his father and mother both. I did everything for him. I changed him. I even cooked for him. It was I who woke up in the night whenever he cried. His mother, my dear wife, initially she was a housewife, but then she started teaching in a school, and myself, a PhD in organic chemistry from the UK. I also taught, so we shared the same profession. My son started going to school. At first, it was an Urdu medium school in Quetta. And his mother taught him everything so well that he got admitted into grade 1 at the age of 4. But then came a real transition after 5 years, because Beacon House Public School opened its doors in Quetta in 1985. And guess what? His mother had to beat the crowd. And she had to get my son admitted to an English medium school. Never mind that the son did not even know the meaning of the word will, W-I-L-L. Because one day he came back from school and asked his mother, what does will mean? He struggled, but then slowly caught up. While he was in grade 3, his sister came. And let me tell you a secret. I loved her even more. But I did not let them know whom I loved. They were both saying to me. Grade 7 and 8, my son started losing interest in studies. He was at the top of the class before then. But then O-levels came, and somehow he got distracted by a lot of other things, primarily reading. He was such a nerd that he carried a book everywhere he went, no matter where we went. On social calls, on visits, even market visits, he had a book in his hand. Tragically, it was not a course book. It was a novel. And he did the archetypical strategy of hiding a novel in the course book as well. And one time he did that, he got a very good beating from me. I'm not ashamed though. Time passed, he went through college, then he joined CA, he went to Karachi, and for the next 7 years, I couldn't talk to him on the phone because I knew I would break down and cry. I just conveyed my regards to him till we joined him back in 2002 in Karachi when I was retired. He had qualified chartered accountancy. He went through his life and slowly grew even more distant. But then, what a blessing. His son came into the world, and his son is in my image. He thinks exactly like me. Thank God. He was the closest thing to my heart, and I did everything for him. The things I did not even do for my son. I used to drive their kids around until one day I crashed the car. And the son was more concerned about the damage to the car than any possible damage to me. And that's when I was told by the family that you're not allowed to drive in. Because I had Parkinson's. On June 1, 2018, I had come back from the hospital after suffering a respiratory infection. I lay down on bed, and suddenly I felt my heart stop. My daughter-in-law rushed out and called in my son. And the last image that I saw was my son's face and his hands on my chest, administering CPR. So I died ecstatic and happy because this was something that I had never experienced for the past few years. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'm finally happy. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, DTM Talab and Hamid. So this concludes our first segment of the meeting, that is the prepared speeches. And the second segment, that is the table topics, which will be impromptu speeches. Let me invite our very own Toastmaster Fahim Razak. He is the table topic master. Toastmaster Fahim Razak.
You know, I forgot Maria Mokhtar is here.
She's there? Well, you know who to vote then. Good evening, ladies and gents. The most exciting part of the Toastmaster meeting, and that is table topic. Now, why is it most exciting? And I think in many ways most rewarding. Like the way I say it, many of our conversations on a day-to-day basis are what? Impromptu, right? We don't prepare for it. And I kind of like to compare that to an interview. And I want to share something with you. You see, when I was looking for a job after completing my studies, and I had an interview offer from an interview call from a well-respected investment bank. And I was really gearing up for it, right? Prepared everything probably about a week into the interview, I was preparing for it. Got there, and I think I was acing almost every question because I had extensively prepared for it. But then there was this question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I had not prepared for this. I had not even expected this question. And I think I'd said something along the line where I basically said, I want your job in 5 years' time. Who is going to be my line manager? Well, needless to say, I didn't get the job, right? And then I prepared again because after applying for other jobs, again, I got an interview call. And this time I prepared for that question. And not only for 5 years, what I'm going to be in, like, I would like to be in 10 years' time, and 2 years, and 3 years. But then there was this question that floored me again. If your boss suddenly leaves the job after 1 year, and then they replace it, and that was a genuine question, that they replace it with another boss whom you think doesn't have any skills for that particular job, how would you go about it? What the interview was, then I realized afterwards, he was asking me, how am I going to be a team player? But I again said something like, I'm going to complain it to HR. Needless to say, didn't get the job. Now, a point being, obviously, is that you cannot prepare for everything, right? You should be able to think on your feet and articulate your response at that moment. And this is what table topics teaches us, okay? So if you're lucky enough to be called on this stage, take this opportunity, grab it, commit, speak your heart, speak your mind when I invite you to come here. Now, just to give you a little lowdown of how it works is, I'm going to present a question. You will have between 1 to 2 minutes to answer. At 1 minute, the timer will ping up the green button that will say you've qualified for a minimum time. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, the yellow light will show up. At 2 minutes, the red light will show up, and then you will have 30 seconds to wrap it up. So 2 minutes, 30 seconds is the maximum. 1 minute is the minimum time. So why don't I start with the first question? And for that, I would like to invite our very own Vishan Aziz. Yeah, take it. No rush. Right, Vishan. The question to you now, the theme is childhood friends. So I'm going to ask a question around that. They say the friends you make in your childhood last a lifetime. Why do you think that is?
Thank you for the question, Frank. You said the friendships you make in your childhood are the ones that last your lifetime, and why that is. First of all, I'd like to say that I do agree with this. I do agree with this because to date, my closest friends are the friends that I grew up with. In fact, my closest friend, I've known him since before I even said my first word. Like my parents put us together, these guys will be friends growing up. And 30-something years later, we are still very close. In fact, he lives not far from me now, just a big coincidence. Why is that the thing? Because we just understand everything about each other. We understand our upbringings are similar. We understood the challenges we've been through. We understand the fun times we've had, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. And I think these things really matter because if I meet someone today, some like stranger, he might not know these things. He might not know what I've been through to get to where I am. Over time, he'll get to know that, but at the beginning, he wouldn't. Whereas these people who I've been friends with from childhood are right there. They've seen each and every step of the way, the good, the bad, the ugly, and sometimes the pretty as well. So that's just how I think about it. And I liked what you said about the interview questions, because I actually had that same discussion today. So anyways, thank you. On to the next speaker. Oh.
Thank you very much, PM Vishan. What a fantastic response. Basically saying they know about us. That's why we keep them for life. We have them for life, right? And there's nothing like this quite in the adulthood. Right, why don't we invite, and we can't have a table topic completed without inviting Mariam Aftab on the stage. So Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Right.
But
so-
consider me as a radio. I will not open my camera.
As usual. Sure. Well, we can hear the background noise, so I can imagine.
Yeah.
Right. So the question for you, Mariam Aftab, is can you share with us a memory or experience with your childhood friend or friends that you still remember? So let me repeat the question. Can you share with us a memory or experience with your childhood friend that you still remember? Over to you.
Well, there are many, but one I would like to share, which I was few days before I was recalling it with my mother. We live in a rented place where we have a Malik Makan, or the house owner. They used to live on the upper floor, on the first floor, and we were in the ground floor. So there was a boy, their son, who his name was Umar, or I don't remember it, but we used to call him Munna. And he was of my age. And we were very naughty. He used to run a lot the whole time, and I was behind him. So we were very good friends. And my elder sister, she was opposite of me. She was lazy. She was scared. She was not so much fun loving, or she used to be. She is fun loving, but she don't know how to counter herself or how to defend herself. More probably. So we used to go to school, and in the van we had this one boy, Mohsen, and Bilal. They were very naughty, and every time I had a fight with them because of my sister. They always behave badly with my sister, and at the end my sister is like, okay, you can take my seat, okay, you can be, and I used to fight behalf of her. So why are you giving it to them? And I discussed it with Munna. And I told him, Munna, they are so bad, and I don't know how to handle him and them, and I have to give them a punishment, and they are just on my nerve now. He said, okay, I have an idea. When your van stops, you just take the whole, you just ask Bilal to come on that front seat and try to protect your sister on that one. I said, okay, I'll do it. We planned it out. It was executed. And when the time came, we were getting out of our van. I asked Bilal very politely, why don't you come and sit here? He said, okay, but he don't know my plan. At that time, I asked my sister to go now, and I was waiting for Munna. The time Munna came, I hold Bilal's head with his ear, and I make him go front of him. And then he put the sand in his hand and throw on Bilal. Oh, that was the last day of our school. And Bilal was crying badly. And I cannot forget that. After that, we had a laugh. They complained to my mother, but we already left the school, so there was no use for that. But that was a friend I remember, with whom I had all the memories. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam Aftab. Am I glad that I was not your friend in your childhood? Yes, I am. Am I sorry for Bilal? Yes, I am. Right. Why don't we have one of the guests? Well, Mr. Adil, right? Yes. Okay. Why don't you come over, please? Your full name is?
Adil Pawar.
Adil Pawar.
Pawar.
Pawar. Okay, we have guest Adil Pawar.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. I'm here for the first time, and my basically the motivation is one of my office colleagues who basically here supports this platform. Currently isn't here, however, I thought that I can be part of this discussion. So I'm actually enjoying it and coming with the topic. The topic is related to my childhood friend and its memories.
So let me put the question to you. Good to have you, Adil Pawar. All right, why don't we have the response from you on the question? Why is it so easy to make friends when you are a child as compared to in adulthood? So let me repeat that. Why is it so easy to make friends when you're a child as opposed to when you are an adult? Over to you.
Okay, that's an interesting question. Basically, when we are younger self of ourselves, of us, it is basically more easier for us to relate to others. Not much of hassle, not much of tensions, and not much of understand issues going on, which currently we as an adult have to cater to. So it becomes much easier to relate to others. You just go and ask, are you interested in this game? Are you interested in this movie? Are you interested in this chocolate, toffee, chips, whatever? And they always find, and then the conversation starts. Now it goes to like friendship and decades of kind of consistency. That is a different part. But friendships are nearly very easy when you are basically your younger self. Now, when I'm talking about my adult self, I have to see a lot of other things as well. That who I'm interacting with, how this interaction will move to the next level. Because friendship, even I would say friendship is a very dear thing to me. When I'm talking to someone, I'm actually taking the responsibility that I will be able to retain myself, my consistency in each and everything to others. And this is how I feel now. Times are a bit different as being a person age 30 plus when I was basically in when I was a kid or a teenager. This is how I want to conclude it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think you nailed it. So we are carefree when we are in child, right? Yeah. We have nothing to stress about, nothing to worry about, nowhere to where that we need to be. So we can just spend time with our friends. Very well done. Right. I think we will have a last speaker now, and that will be Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. Do we have Toastmaster Fiza Aziz?
Yes, he's raring to go.
I'm sure she is. Are you there?
Yes, he's there. He's there.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. But we can't see you, Fiza. Are you able to?
Yeah, please turn on your.
I'm not going to turn my camera. I'm not. I'm in a hospital actually.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, sure. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Let me just decide which question I shall put to you. I've got two questions. Right. Yes. It might have made more sense if you were a guy, but let me ask this. Your best friend from your childhood is very upset with you. And the reason she is upset with you because her boyfriend broke up with her and he is now in relationship with you.
Oh my God! Seriously? Why? Why?
You wanted to go for tabletop.
Oh my God! Okay.
But the question is,
go
okay, I
further.
think so from your laugh, I gather you understood it. But so the question is, how are you going to make up with her? Over to you, Toastmaster Fiza.
Oh my God. Why do you hate me? Hello, Assalamu alaikum. It's such a interesting question, TM Fahim. I mean, I know you're taking like a last time, but still, it's okay. I'm gonna say one thing. I don't do this kind of stuff ever. I mean, I never do that. I love my friends very, very much. And whether they're my childhood friends or whether they are my current friends, I love them. And I would never, ever do this to them. I would never hurt them. And I really care about them. And I would put them first rather than put boys. So I guess you have to consider other people's feelings, and you have to sacrifice for your friendships. And if the guy is interesting, I would say, I'm sorry, I'm not, because you are my friend's person. So I can't hurt her. I can't hurt anyone. So I just love my friends very, very much. And I pray that they are, wherever they are happy and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pizza. You see why I was saying if it was a guy, I would have definitely asked this question, and you know what the guy would have said. Who is more important?
I know that.
Yeah.
I
so
think
when- Sorry, you were saying something?
I'm just saying you should pick your friends over boys any day. I mean, boys or girls, whatever, but your friends always come first, no matter what.
Yeah, you might need to go into a guy's head to
I
figure
don't want
that
to. I know how they work.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pizza. Very well handled and in quite humor way. So very well done. I think that brings the table topic to an end. We can float the vote now, I guess, for the best speaker.
For that, I'll leave the names. So.
All right. Okay. So we had Vishan Aziz, first speaker. Then we had Mariam Akhtar.
Just a second. Yeah.
And then we had our guest, Adil Power.
All right.
And then lastly, Toastmaster Pizza. So
All
four
right.
speakers.
All right. Adil, how do you spell your last name?
The spelling of my last name is PANHWAR.
All right. Thank you.
Who is that generally valued?
Pizza.
All right. Okay. Okay, that brings the table topic to an end. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day. You come and then you can go down. Okay, I will hand over the charge to Toastmaster of the day, Ghulam Qadir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Fahim Razak, for an amazing table topic session. So this comes to our third segment. The third segment is the general evaluation. And general evaluator is Toastmaster Fizza Aziz. Toastmaster Fizza Aziz, stage is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum to all the Toastmasters, and I hope you had a great evening. I would like to, as a general evaluator, have been listening to the speeches, and first of all, I want to say amazing speeches by all of the speakers, because this was just so amazing. And this was something of a change, actually, because I have never seen presentations and visuals in Toastmaster till my time here. And I just loved all the presentations and all the stories they all given. I would like to start with our first speaker, DTM Sarfraz Ahmed, very inspirational speech. I had been listening while I was doing my work. I'm actually here with my mom. But I was listening to him, and I was getting very inspired by his story about how he had overcome and how he achieved his dream. And it was just too good. And then TM Wase, I want to say thank you so much for bringing up my school. I'm also a St. Patrick girl, and you also St. Patrick. And it was just an amazing presentation you gave about what you did in your childhood and chess and mind blogging. It was just too good. And I had a lot of fun listening to you. TM Belram, yes, I did hear you, but I'm a little bit of advice to you that if you speaking, then keep the momentum going, because I think you were I couldn't hear you. Maybe there was some sort of a technical difficulty. And then there was TMGQ. Sir, you are Ethan Hunt. I'm gonna say that. You kept us in cliffhanger. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward what your next part of speech is. DTM Thala, I loved your speech. I loved your speech, how you started with it and how you presented it. And I loved how you just actually played a tribute, and you played an amazing tribute. And it was just too good. It was amazing. I had a lot of fun. This was the like one meeting I wanted to attend physically. Table talk was amazing. DM Fahim, thank you so much for the interesting question, and you were pretty good as table topic master. Very, very good. And TM
Excuse me,
Prashant, very good
Toastmaster
speaking.
Fiza, sorry, Toastmaster
Yeah.
Fiza, you have to invite the whole
Yeah.
slate of evaluators first.
Okay, okay, okay.
Then you
Okay.
can give your remarks afterwards, if that's okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
No issue.
sorry.
We were all enjoying them so much. In fact, I had to be reminded by
No,
someone.
I'm still reeling on the question of TM Fahim. That is why. So.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can
okay.
imagine. So you need to call the evaluators. If you have the agenda before you, you can read it off them, or I can invite them on your behalf. All right, our first speaker is BTM Sarfraz, and he'll be evaluated by Toastmaster Fahim Razak. So over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Fiza Aziz and DTM Talabin Ahmed. Good evening, everyone, once again. We had a treat. We had a treat from DTM Sir Sarfraz on an 18 to 22-minute speech. As I said before, as usually we look forward even when it's 5 to 7 minutes, but today we had the whole 22 minutes. And he did go on for 22 minutes because he finished on the red light. So what a day we had with him. Now, think about the keynote speech, right? When you have to speak for over 20 minutes, it's hard enough to hold audience attention when you have a speech as little as 5 minutes. And did he do a good job? Obviously, he did. I was sat there at the end of the table, and I could see every single member of the audience had their eyes glued to the screen, and they were listening intently. They were listening intently because you had them in your grip. With the way you were going on, the way you started, the way your body, the way this body of the speech was structured, with your vocal variety and with your humor in it. I'm going to go into detail in a little bit. And then the challenge is with the long speech is whether you are going to have everything that you thought you will. Because you can easily forget. Even in 5 minutes speech, I usually forget, oh, I didn't mention that. I didn't mention that. But it didn't look like with BTM Sir Sarfraz. He was going in such a good tempo with so much smoothness in it. We knew he had covered everything that he had planned to. Now, I'm not sure whether it was you practice it so much or you are now just become such an orator that it comes to you naturally. I suspect it's the latter. It just comes to you naturally, just with your experience and with your skill. You started off very well with your career and how your career progressed. And then you very quickly moved on to your Toastmaster journey, which I think it took you about 15 minutes to explain that journey because it was so detailed and so thorough as well. You started with the events from 1993 when you joined Toastmaster, all the way to 2000 when you actually won as a semi-finalist, as a second place. And what a journey you had, sir. You inspired us as TM Ghulam Qadir said after your speech. It was very, very inspirational, not only from your career, but how you went about in your Toastmaster journey. And you had that bit of humor. That's why you had us, especially on when the club leader asked you to take a leadership position and you came out of it by saying that you want to take part in a contest, and which you didn't plan to, but because of that, you took part in the contest and you actually won it. So what an inspiration. I have just two things to say to you, DTM Sir Sarfraz. In your speech, as I said, it was quite inspirational, but I think you missed an opportunity. It could have been even more inspirational. You know, when you said you were broke, so much broke that all you had in your bank was $25. And then you end up earning so much. We just wanted to know how you went about earning so much. It would have given us just that extra inspiration. How somebody went from $25 to I'm assuming you are a millionaire now. So why not? Why not? Why not give us that journey, sir? You know. Second thing, you had that humor, but I think that humor came very, very late. It came like after 10 minutes when you talked about coming out of that leadership position by saying you want to take part in a contest. You had that vocal variety, that humor. But why not go about the humor when you were talking about the politics in office, especially in Pakistan, right? There's so many things, people just talk about anything. Why not take example from there and have us? So I thought that was a missed opportunity there, but all in all, a wonderful speech as expected, and we look forward to many more in the future. With that, over to you, General.
Okay. Second evaluator will be Toastmaster Ahmed. Sorry, he is the speaker, and Toastmaster Imran Rana will be the evaluator.
Yeah. Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Nasir Ahmed, our treasurer, delivered a wonderful speech about the journey of how he was able enough to functionalize the dysfunctional society of mind bombing, right? You started your speech with a confident gesture. If the objective of the speech was the change management and how it impacted on you. So if I see the speech closely, that it was a social change that you brought, and it created an impact, and it helps number of students to take part in that society, and you functionalize that society which was initially dysfunctional. So the whole speech was delivered with great confidence. What I love about your speech was you delivered the content with great confidence. You used some amazing vocabulary and amazing gestures that you always did, and that's the hallmark of your speeches. What I would like to suggest you that you started at the corner, so it was little bit abrupting for me. Maybe you could have come into the center place and then you move towards your left or towards your right. Your body language, your hand gestures, and vocal variety were perfectly aligned with your speech. I like the conclusion that the statement the father said to you that means if you have a great will to do anything, that everything will be planned in a way that you can fulfill that journey. You can fulfill that goal which you wanted to achieve. So it was quite inspiring. I feel that the objective of the project was partially met. What I wanted to see in the speech that, like for instance, in a company, there's a change. Like for instance, if there's a manual setup going on and there's a change to make them computerized or automated, so that change could impact how it impact on those employees. So I was looking for that change in your speech, but there was a talk about social change. There was there in your speech, but I was since I'm the evaluator and it's purely my observation, and I may be wrong. So it's overall it was quite an amazing and inspiring speech. I loved your vocal variety plus your vocabulary, plus you use the word of the day in your speech as well, which is quite difficult. Looking forward to your next speeches and keep inspiring. Over to you, General.
Okay, our next evaluator will be DTM Sarfaraz, and he'll be evaluating Toastmaster Meghwal Velaram's speech.
Thank you, DTM Talha bin Hamad, and thank you, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz, General Evaluator. It is my honor to provide the evaluation of the speech given by Velaram. First, I'm going to tell you what I liked about your speech, and then I'll give you some suggestions for improvement. Your objective was to show us your knowledge about using presentation software, and you did that. Your slides were well created, clear, and easy to read. And I noticed that on your slides, when you included items that had already been completed, you put the word completed in red, so it stood out, so we could see which items have been completed. That was great. I also liked the fact that you knew your material. You knew what you were talking about. You knew your project and your willingness to share that story about your project with us. Third thing I liked about your speech was your voice. It was very clear. I could hear you clearly. And it was loud enough for everyone to hear, in my opinion. You ended your speech by showing us a video. That was good. We could see some of the images, buildings related to the project. Now, what can you do to improve? I mentioned you had good slides. There were few that had pictures. I noticed that even though they had pictures, you did not use the entire slide to show the picture. You placed the picture on the side, left or right, and then you added words to it. I would personally like to see you show just the picture. And if you want to add some words, maybe a phrase, just a few words, and then talk to it rather than having the words that you're saying written on the slide itself. Because then we have to make a choice. Should we read the words on the slide or look at the picture? Also notice that in some of your slides, you had long sentences, too much text. My suggestion to you is just put short phrases and then talk to us about that item so that we do not have to read long sentences on your slides. When it comes to delivery, even though you knew your material, in the hotel where you were speaking from, the monitor or the screen is behind you on the wall. Throughout your presentation, you kept on looking backwards on the screen to see what slide there was. When you do that, that breaks the eye contact. You were breaking eye contact not only with the audience in the room, but also the online audience. I would like to see you place your laptop in front of you with the slide so you're looking in front. Glance at it and look at the audience instead of looking at, and when you want someone to change the slide, have someone just nod to them and they know to change the slide. So that you're not constantly looking. I like your speech because of your clarity of your slides, your vocal variety, your subject matter expertise. And if you can improve by giving us more pictures on your slides and not long sentences, it'll be a great speech. Look forward to your next speech. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator or Madam General Evaluator.
All right, our next speaker is Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, and I am the evaluator. So, yeah, if someone can time this. All right. All right, everyone. We witnessed GQ version 2. Oh, I mean, honeymoon version 2. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, for being the only person on the planet who goes to Thailand on a honeymoon. course, we don't talk about Thailand very often for very obvious reasons. You had a very good start. Your starts are particularly strong in terms of gestures, in terms of setup, and in terms of world building. So that I found very engaging. You engaged in dialogue as well. You had very good body language, and there was a strange juxtaposition of you performing Eid al-Azha rituals and then immediately leaving for Thailand. I found that quite intriguing, to say the least, and you repeated it quite a bit. So perhaps it felt as if you were atoning in advance for something that you would do in Thailand. Who knows? Then you ended up disclosing that you had gone to Thailand 10 years earlier as well. We would certainly like to hear more about that trip. You had very good composure. I noticed one thing, that there was an interruption during the speech when someone entered, and you paused for a bit, but then you continued as if nothing had happened. And finally, you had very good vocal variety. Now, a few improvement areas. You went into too much detail about Thailand in the beginning, and it read more like a pamphlet or a brochure for Thailand. So perhaps dial down the detail level a little bit, because this being your speech, we were more interested about hearing your side of the story rather than what we could learn from a brochure or any website. And again, repeatedly you sounded too apologetic about Thailand. You were apologizing for Thailand's reputation. I don't know why. And at times it seemed as if you were justifying the trip to Toastmasters Makanphala, because you mentioned how good Thailand is, how it is not exactly like what we perceive it to be, and how cost effective it is, in particular the costs. So overall, it was a very entertaining speech. It was missing a little bit of your storytelling flair because it got bogged down in details too much. So as an area of improvement, perhaps you can focus more on your personal experiences, anecdotes, and we are eager to hear the sequel, The Dead Reckoning Part 2. Let's see whether you survive or not. So overall, a very good and engaging speech, a departure from your usual speeches. There was some valuable information, but it got bogged down too much information. A little more storytelling flair would have been helpful. Over to you, General Valley. So our next speech is by myself, and Toastmaster Ali Hussain Babar will be given.
Thank you. So once again, taking the charge of the stage. Now that I'm not there, I would say one new thing I learned today from his speech was you can give an entire speech in the role playing. Previously, it used to be making dialogues or playing partially the role of any other person, but this time it was another milestone, another landmark, I would say, in speeches, by giving entire speech in second person. A very powerful start, I would say, not just the story, not just the role playing, the way he started with the story from the side of his father and then carrying it forward. That was amazing. Then tragically, it was not the course book, it was the comic book. The way you crack the joke, even in such a serious speech, the way you managed the incorporating a joke, that was really good. That is what kept us engaged, even though the speech was serious. Still, you managed to take it forward on a lighter note. Then another skill of yours, the pauses you give. Like you said, I laid down on the bed with pain in my chest. So the pauses in between you give, that really adds to the value of the speech that you give. And that was really amazing. Then the hand gestures, the body language, like always, it's very open and like it adds a great value to your speech.
it was really hard to highlight any of the areas of improvement when it comes to DTM Talha with Hamid. But still, I think one element that was not really present in this speech, otherwise I have seen it in your other speeches as well, the vocal variety. I think generally you are even more loud, not sure because it was very personal topic, very personal speech, or you are giving speech after office, not sure what's the reason exactly. But I think that was missing, and obviously that's a strength that you can incorporate in the upcoming speech and add value to the speech as well. On the whole, a great speech, a great learning curve for all of us. Looking forward to more same quality speeches in the future from your side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Fiza, are you there? All right.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
So can you see the agenda?
Yeah, the agenda is childhood friends. Just a moment.
Sorry.
Just a moment. Let me open
All
it.
right. No worries. No worries. I can invite on your behalf our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Imran Raha.
Was Toastmaster Fahim doing his active learning listening project?
No.
Third class. Okay.
You say it felt like that.
Yes. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very wonderful, amazing table topic and engaging table topic session conducted by Toastmaster Fahim Razak. I like the way he explained the table topic session to the guest and to everyone, and highlighted the importance of the table topics, how important table topic sessions are to help you in getting your thoughts organized if any questions being thrown towards you. So, okay, I was able to heard only 2 speeches, and rest of the speeches will be evaluated by DTM Talha.
He wasn't there either.
All right. No, I was. Yeah.
I think you came when Fiza spoke. You missed the two first two, Vishan and the other.
Yeah. But you can cover the first 2 things.
First 2 years.
Yeah.
So our first speaker was Toastmaster Vishan Aziz, and and the topic was about the childhood memory, right? Toastmaster Vishan Aziz is an eloquent speaker, and he spoke quite well. The strong point of his speeches are the content plus his style of speaking. What I observed throughout the speech, he was mostly looking towards down, or mostly towards the table topic master. Very less saw towards the audience, so maybe he can work on that. If he could bring a smile on his face, maybe that will overcome his shiverness, or maybe so the area of improvement is to look all around to the audience. Plus, if he kept a smile on the face, then he could control his nervousness. So it was little visible to me. Then we had Toastmaster Mariam Aftab. As always, Toastmaster Mariam Aftab did not open the camera due to some social reason. But what I admire about her speeches, that she always come up with a story. Whatever topics you give her, she will manage it quite well, and she turned it into a very good story. And the strong point of her speech was her engaging vocal variety. She gave amazing pauses, amazing emphasizes on the words. Overall, it was a wonderful speech, quite humorous speech, and she could develop a 5 to 7 minute speech on that as well. If she could have opened up the camera, I would suggest on the physical gestures. Plus, she need to work upon the timing as well, because she was over time. Rest of the speakers will be very much evaluated by DTM Talha. So over to you.
All right. Apologies, I need to sit before the laptop because I got the list of speakers here. So the last two speakers were guest Adil Pamar. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Pamar.
Pamar. Thank you so much. And Toastmaster Fizazi. So Adil, one thing I noticed about your speech and your whole presentation was how confident it was. You were practically bouncing off your feet in terms of coming on the stage and having to speak. So that is a very good indication. That means that you enjoy coming on the stage, which is great for the first time. And your speech was very well coordinated, and it was also very relevant to the topic given. You made a very good connection with the audience. At least I could feel that connection because you were speaking so easily and naturally. So I all kudos to you, because it's never easy to speak impromptu, and you coming on the stage and speaking with such confidence. If I had to suggest one improvement area, it would sound churlish, but still you could have moved around a little bit. You were largely standing in one place. And lastly, Toastmaster Fizazi, you also did not turn on your screen. But what I liked about your speech was your bewilderment at the topic given. It was so well conveyed that we really did not need to see you to imagine what were you looking like when you heard the topic. And I think you fielded the topic very well, by the way, by saying that, I'm not that kind of person and I don't do such things. So very clever. Congratulations. You demonstrated that even when giving such a befuddling topic, you could have, and turned it into something entertaining and turned it your way. So a very, very impressive job there. So yeah, that was the table topics evaluation. And next we move on to, all right, how many notes do I have today? Okay, yeah. So grammarian and word master. So yeah, I'll go on the stage, and everybody please pray that I can read my writing. So always a challenge.
Turn the camera towards you.
Oh yeah. I'm interested in. No, standing up makes the grammarian report sound better. Yeah. All right. So first of all, word of the day, bittersweet, and it was used by. Okay, where is it? By the way, where is the list of word of the day? Yeah, DTM Sarfraz, Toastmaster Vasayana. I use the word, and I think Toastmaster GQ also used it. Very good usage was observed today. Fell down into a dark ditch, and the way it was conveyed, we could really see the dark ditch. Bionic man, empty-handed, and DTM Sarfraz, that was the best voila I've ever heard. Through that, I perhaps learned to really, really say it correctly, the expression voila. A breath of fresh air stuck in reverse, scared the living daylights out of me. Reverse trend had been reversed. Wow, Toastmaster Vasa, that was, I think that was Toastmaster Vasa, right? So, yeah. I hats off to your creative use of English. You always manage to impress with your vocabulary. And especially coming after DTM Sarfraz, the fact that you have as many entries is downright impressive. So reality check, inception, ball of a time, special water, really nice. And okay. Yeah. Okay, now for some, okay, so much smoothness was used in the evaluation. Such an orator was used, and hallmark of your speeches. Love that expression. Now for some errors that I was able to catch. Someone said we bogged down, should have been were bogged down. Silence features should have been salient features. We will depart was used in that context. We would depart would have been better. Happening place was used twice, and I personally believe that it perhaps was a little too jarring compared to the rest of the tone of your speech, which was a little bit more formal and story-like. So yeah, there's no harm though, but it was used twice in quick succession. So maybe that's what made it end up on this list. It was not, I mean, it was not a grammatical error in any shape or form. Someone used functionalized opposite as opposed to dysfunctional. So I don't know, I need to look it up, but perhaps the opposite of dysfunctional is not functionalized. It could be something like cause to work smoothly. But again, I may be wrong. I need to check. Abrupting was used, I think, or I misheard. So abruptly or abrupt. Suggest you should have been suggest to you. Like, for instance, is redundant. First of all, like is very informal, so we should use it, for instance. And then, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the grammar review report. And over to the R counter, DTM Sarfraz.
Thank you, DTM Talha bin Hamid. In Karachi Toastmasters, we don't hear a lot of R's. We hear a lot of as, short R's or mini R's. Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, you had one long pause and one unnecessary word, even though it's a correct English word, thank you. There's no need to say thank you as a speaker. Let the audience say thank you to you. You not only said once, but then there was some issue and you repeated it again saying thank you twice. Toastmaster Megwar Walaram had 3 as and then when, one, and a. DTM Talha, in your introductional speech, you had 2 as or as, several so's, and 1 so yeah. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, you had some so's where you said so there is, and then so patang. So you could just say patang and continue your sentence. So there were about 3 so's. DTM Talha, since you appeared several times, the second time I saw you, you had 3 or 4 R's and again several so's. Toastmaster Fahim Razak, 3 R's. Toastmaster Vishan, you had several repeats like I do agree with this, I do agree with this, and he. Toastmaster Mariam Aftab Kedwai, 2 R's, 1 1 so, and 1 you know. Our guest Adil Kanwar had 2 R's. Toastmaster Fiza Aziz had 1 R, 2 so's, and a. And another time she said yeah. Toastmaster Imran Rana, you had 2 R's, and that's my report as an R counter. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DTM Sarfraz. Next, we have our listener, Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan. Over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters, someone said they are just on my nerves.
Sorry, can you come again?
They are just on my nerves.
Mariam?
Yes. Okay. Ecstatic and happy.
GQ?
No.
Sarasap.
Yes. Lithium Kana. That is why I was laughing.
Serious?
This is what I have
You
guessed.
didn't, I guess you didn't remember what you said earlier. Okay. someone said, even, sorry, all dark and squiggly.
ATM Tala.
Yes. Okay. I look like a bionic man.
DTM Surprise.
Yes. I ascended the stairs.
DTM Surprise.
No.
Who ascended the stairs?
Yes, Wasi Ahmed. Okay. I was gearing up for it.
Vasi?
No. No. Given up.
Yeah.
TM Fahim.
All right.
Okay. I fell into a dark ditch.
DTM Sarfraz.
Okay. This one is easy. Scared the living daylight out of me.
Vasi.
No.
Oh, DTM Surprise. Yeah.
Yes.
Easy to
Because you
mix
just
up.
Because you just mentioned that DTM Tala.
Yeah.
Okay. We are bogged down. Sorry, word bogged down. Word bogged down.
No. GQ.
No. Your memory is getting very bad, DTM Tala. You just corrected the person. I'm so sorry, I'm being upfront. But you corrected the person's grammar right just now.
Oh, yes. All right.
So what is the name? No. TM Wasi Ahmed.
Oh. Yeah. All right.
Even such a befuddling topic.
ATM Tala.
Yes. And the last one, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's it's ACCOLADES. Accolades. Yes, accolades. Someone said
DTM
accolades.
Sarfraz.
Yes.
DTM Sarfraz.
Yes. That's about it for my report.
Thank you so much. And as far as the timing report is concerned, we are a little bit behind the time. Toastmaster Imran, would you like to remark on the timing?
Okay, three of the speakers, Toastmaster Mariam, Toastmaster Villaran, and myself were overtime. The rest were within their time limits.
All right. So thank you so much for that. And now it's time for Journal Evaluator, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz, to share her comments on the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tala sir, and thank you for such an amazing meeting. I have 3 words for this lovely meeting. It was visually amazing, good presentation, good change, and I absolutely loved it. And there was a lot of learning and lot of fun in it, and lots of people have given their utmost highlights of their life, and it was really enlightening to all the speakers, even the table topic speakers. You were great. Evaluators were amazing. They had evaluated thoroughly, and just pure entertainment and pure learning, because we got to learn a lot from these evaluations, and I think these evaluations are very helpful. And then grammarian and R counter, really good work. This was very focused, very good, and I was listening to them, and I also got what mistakes I made and I should not like put it in the future. So overall, it was a great meeting. It was very fun meeting. I wish I was there. And thank you so much for putting me as a general evaluator. Thank you.
Everyone, please vote for best evaluator, best facilitator, and best before. They're coming in quick succession. So please vote season.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for a very good evaluation of the entire meeting. An amazing meeting, which has is about to come to an end. And before I close and hand over the charge to the Mr. President, I'll just give a quotation put over here. If you are very lucky if you have two friends, you're very lucky if you have two friends, and you are extremely lucky if you have one good friend. So keep that in mind and enjoy your friendships. Keep them to your heart. And over to you, Mr. President, DTM Sarfaraz Naseem.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. Great job, everyone, from the Toastmaster to the Table Talks Master to Table Talks Evaluator to General Evaluator, and especially DTM Talha bin Hamid for taking on numerous roles, especially posting one member, one role. The more you post, the more you post about it, the more roles we take on. So we at the start of the meeting, we had some guests and they have dropped off. But the guest, I think we have guests at the hotel. So I would like to invite them. Please come forward and say a few words about your impression about the meeting, how you felt, what you saw, what you heard. I think one is the Ali Hassan Babar, and the other one Adil Kanwar.
Yes.
So thank you all. I'm really interested in.
Please switch the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Apologies. I'm also the Zoom host. So don't mind me. All right.
Thank you all. I'm really interested in visiting this platform again, because as someone tried to conclude the things that certain individuals are presenting vocabulary, others are presenting new way of discussing or presenting things, which actually makes it a lot more interesting. In our office life, we have to present boring kind of things. And when you put these elements into it, actually makes it way more bearing than normally people do feel in the office. So thank you all once again, and hope to see you again.
Thank you, appreciate it. Next guest.
Sir, actually, he's left, Ali Hassan Babar, and he's one of our former members. So,
Okay. So just a general question. Is there any female Toastmaster in the room?
no, sir. No.
Why,
Okay.
sir?
But one is online though.
Okay, yeah, we have several. Because we have one, we had some appear online, and I was just wondering, what happened to, but there's another one, I won't mention their name, but they have been posting during the meeting instead of attending the meeting. And I'll leave it up to you to figure out who that is. Every now and then you see a post.
Oh, yes.
Or almost DTM.
Yeah.
Posted. And so that's about, so that's why I asked. And also welcome back Toastmaster Mariam Aftab. We have missed you. Glad to see you back and taking part in table topics. And our GE General Evaluator has dropped off. Thank you, Toastmaster Fahim Razak, for the topic that you gave. And I think she was not in a location where she could speak freely on that topic. So she stepped around the topic. Before, while votes are being counted, just make a few remarks about my keynote. Toastmaster Fahim Razak, thank you for your evaluation. This was my second practice. You can say the first time I practiced, this was actually delivering it at an advanced Toastmasters Club in District 15, Dallas, online on Sunday, July 16, 10 days ago. In that meeting, the evaluator told me that, after I mentioned the current state before talking about Toastmasters, I should take the ending and put it in the beginning and say my current state, and then go on talking about how I went from X to Y. I thought about it, but today, my second practice or second delivery, I decided against it, because the moment you say, oh, hey, look, I'm successful, this is where I am, people are not going to be listening to the rest of the speech. And Toastmaster Fahim Razak, you will remember you were in the room at ICAP when we had a joint meeting with Express Toastmasters, and I gave a long speech, keynote then, and I mentioned an email from the banks saying, go, get a new Maserati. Yeah. So I just posted that. This is from yesterday's email. The bank is not leaving me alone. Every few months, I keep getting the same, go by. And the reason I find it strange is, I had mentioned in my keynote that early days, when I was a student, all I could get was $300 loan. And now they say, oh, you're pre-approved for $100,000. So what I would like to do is to take this keynote and change it from 20 minutes to almost an hour, like a 50-minute keynote, to show the parallel between life in Toastmasters and personal professional life, because you cannot separate the two. As I mentioned, excellence, Toastmaster International President saying, hey, you do it with excellence. And that's the way we should do, no matter what the job is. I noticed in businesses, place of work, there's some people, when they're working on a project with a fellow employee, they don't pay too much attention. But if they are involved in a project where they have to present before the general manager, chief executive officer, or vice presidents, then they put in more effort. And that's wrong. No matter what you do, you should be committing to excellence. You should do that, excellence. And Toastmaster Fahim Razak said, about the bank now. So when you perform with excellence, not only people want you to work on their projects, but then here's some of the things that because not everyone can give you, increase or raise. When you work on projects, you keep getting this extra money. So these are just the samples I'll have to post them through. So every few months, you're supposed to work on a project, and then these are not from within the department, these are from other departments where they appreciate that what you have done for them, and they'll come back and say, oh, sorry, I have no means of giving you an increase. So in today's speech, I didn't mention it, but I did mention it back at the ICAP on March 9th, like it's 16th last year. Where when you're performing with excellence in Toastmasters, there are benefits, but also when you're performing with excellence in your place of work, in 4 years, they gave me 9 pay increases, and that's unheard of in corporations, especially at a time when people had frozen the salary increases. And that's because they had to make sure that the salary matched the performance. So,
well, we know the answer now. He is a
so no matter whatever you do, always put your heart in it. That's the difference between whether you're competing, whether you are a Toastmaster of the meeting, or just a role player facilitator. Take it seriously. And when you do that, whether you're doing Toastmasters or maybe you do it in your place of work, and rewards will come your way. And now, if we are ready for the votes.
Yes, actually, the votes are ready, except for, just give me a second.
Okay.
We've got too few for Best Big Four and Best Facilitator. So we'll appreciate if you all can vote for these two. Meanwhile, let me announce the popular results. Best prepared speaker went on to myself. Thank you. I don't know after how many years. All right.
Yeah, it was really brilliant. I was glued to it. It was heartwarming. That's Vishan described it as he was leaving.
And speaking of which, today something amazing has happened. And Toastmaster Mariam Aftab sorry, you have not won the best table topics. You spoke at table topics and you've not won it. I mean, I'm wondering if we open that door and we witness a universe out there anymore. But today, Toastmaster Vishan Aziz has swept the table. Best evaluation has gone to the usual suspect, DTM Sarfraz. Best pick 4 by a very narrow margin. Our table topics master Toastmaster Fahim Razak. And best facilitator usually goes to the person who actually makes us the most miserable. So this time it was DTM Sarfraz as our counter. Congratulations. So over to you.
Thank you, DTM Talha bin Hamid. And thank you, Mariam Aftab. Even though you were not declared the best speaker, we always love to have you back in the meetings. And now for the Critic Choice Awards, first, second, third place. The first place goes to Distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid for that great speech that you delivered. The second place goes to DTM Sarfraz Nazir, and the third place goes to Toastmaster Wase Ahmed. Any announcements, Mr. VP Education?
Sorry, no announcements except for that, I would love it if we can have a Toastmaster of the Day for our next meeting right here, right now. And I can work with them to arrange the next meeting. So anyone who's in the meeting has an advantage. So
I would like to ask for him, Razak, since he was generous enough to be table topics master, if he would like to do that at the next meeting?
Would you?
You can't say no to the president.
All right. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So
thank you so much. So that's pretty much it. We work on now.
Ask him to attend.
And Toastmaster Imran Rana has served as a table topics evaluator a few times now. How about general evaluator?
So I'll be teaching him next week.
All right, just a second. Okay, so TMOD Fahim, GE Imran, TTM, great. GQ and team has expressed an interest for TMOD, but unfortunately that has been quit. Fortunately, sorry. No, it's all right. So how about you take a table topics evaluator to Toastmaster Mariam? Would that be okay?
Sure. Okay, no problem. Any role.
That way you won't be competing in table topics. Great. All right. All right.
So we have the big four.
Yes, we have the big four. And as an announcement, now I will first fill out. I will impose, with your approval, Mr. President, I will once again impose a curfew on the group and fill out the facilitator roles, and then open the curfew and open up the speech slots. All right.
Okay, that's great. And once again, thanks to all the members who have paid their dues. And I've been seeing posts from several Toastmasters within District 122, some in the KDC group and some outside. And I find it strange that some of the posts telling people to, hey, go pay your dues are from people who have not paid their own dues.
Yes.
I mean, what a leader. Hey, don't do what I do, just do what I say.
Yes.
So please, if you're one of them who have posted in any one of the District 122 posts asking people to pay your dues, please make sure that you have paid your dues. We are at 7. One more will make it 8, which is the minimum requirement. That'll give us the half of the DCP point for having paid the dues on time. But we would like to, members who are continuing. So I'm thinking maybe I'll float a survey to the members who are listed on the website as paid members. asking, if they're going to renew it, what their interests are and what level they are, et cetera, et cetera. And on behalf of Karachi Toastmasters Club, we thank all the members for joining us, and also special thanks to all the guests who have joined, and we look forward to seeing them again next week. Until then, if there are no other announcements, going once, going twice, going thrice.
There's one announcement.
Oh, sure, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, GQ requested to reschedule the.
GQ, if you can come on the stage for this. So Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, or also known as GQ, has proposed the idea that, please.
So we have an announcement, and
Sure.
inshallah, on August 14, we are going to have our first contest of the year. That is the tall tale contest, and I'll be the contest chair for that. So I'll be reaching out to all the members and paid members for this slot, for this contest slot, as well as definitely for the judges in the district 122P. So wish you all good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster GQ, for volunteering to be the chairperson, and we now have the date. I guess our VPPR can start publicizing tall tales, and between now and the contest date, we'll provide some more information about the tall tales contest itself, what it is. I think DTM Talha had already posted information about it. What are the ingredients or key ingredients of a tall tales? So we'll do that once again, so members have an idea, especially the new ones. And now, I guess that was the final announcement.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, it's my honor to declare the meeting adjourned.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you again.
Allah Hafiz.